Good evening, everyone. Yes, this is my video presentation of my final examination. My topic today is endangered species management. What is endangered species management? Are those considered in imminent danger of extinctions. Endangered species and ecosystem restorations often incorporative vegetation management or habitat composition as measurement measures of success. Endangered species management may view habitat condition as a necessary component for the continued persistence of population or individuals. Next, how can we manage endangered species? First, educate your family about endangered species in your area. Second, recycle and buy sustainable products. Third, reduce your water consumption. Fourth, reduce your personal footprint. Do not buy plastic products. Pressure your civil servants and volunteer your time to protect the wildlife in your area. What is threatened species? Are those that are likely to become endangered at least locally within the foreseeable future. Threatened species are any species which are vulnerable to endangerment in the near future. Species that are threatened are sometimes characterized by the population dynamics measures of critical dispensations, a mathematical measures of biomass related to population growth rate. What is vulnerable species are naturally rare or have been locally depleted by human activities to a level that puts them at risk. A species which has been categorized by the International Union of Conservation of Nature as likely to become endangered unless the circumstances that are threatening its survival of reproduction improve. Vulnerability is mainly caused by habitat loss of destruction of the species home. What is keystone species? Have significant effect on ecological function and how whose eliminations would affect many other members of the biological community. Example as are dogs or beson. What is indicator species? Those tied to specific biotic communities or successional stages or set of environmental condition. They can be reliably found under certain circumstances but at others. Example is book truth. What is umbrella species? Require large blocks of relatively undistributed habitat to maintain viable population. Saying this habitat also benefit other species. Example of umbrella species are the northern spotted owl. What is flagship species? Especially interesting or attractive organisms to which people react emotionally. These species can motivate the public to preserve biodiversity and contribute to conservation. Example of this is a giant panda. Next is the biodiversity and the landscape. Forests have always been important to people. Indeed, forests and civilization have always been closely linked. Since the earliest civilization, in fact, since some of the earliest human cultures, wood has been one of the major building materials and the most readily available and widely used foil. Forests are widely distributed, but the most significant remaining areas are the humid equatorial regions and the cold boreal forests in the high latitudes. So the UN Food of Agriculture Organization defined forest as any area where trees cover more than 10% of the open savannas. Where trees covers less than 20% of the ground, the closed canopied forest in which tree grounds overlaps the cover most of the ground. Globally, about one-third of all the forests are categorized as primary forests. Unfortunately, an estimate of 6 million, 15 million of these irreplaceable forests are cleared or heavy damage every year. So, parks and preserve. While most forests and grasslands serve utilitarian purposes, many nations have set aside some natural areas for ecological culture or recreational purposes. Some of these preserves have existed for thousands of years. Different levels of protection are found in a nature preserve. A park is an area set aside for use by people. Although people may use it, nature preserve has as its primary purpose the conservation of some resource, typically a biological one. Every park of reservation is an ecological island of one kind of landscape surrounding by a different kind of landscape of several different kids. So next, ecological and physical islands have special ecological qualities and islands of biography concepts are used in design and management of parks. One of the important differences between park and a truly nature wilderness area is that the park has definite boundaries. These boundaries are usually arbitrary from the ecological viewpoint and have been established for political, economic, or historical reasons unrelated to the natural ecosystem. Many natural parks and preserves are increasingly isolated, remnant fragments of ecosystem that once extended over large area. So that is my last this is my ending. So thank you for listening, mom. Thank you for watching. God bless and keep safe.